And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome, everybody, to another Victory Monday as we now stand alone in the NFL as the only undefeated team at 4-0, your Philadelphia Eagles. What a game. It was in the rain. It was one of those old school football, run the ball kind of games. And, Eagles did not start off great, but they certainly persevered and ended up getting the victory.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was hard fought. It was sloppy. Number of turnovers. Starting with the Eagles committing one, the pick six,
Six, right?
and and then the rest of the game, just Jacksonville kept turning the ball over. It keeps it now like the one fumble. I almost feel like shouldn't even count that fourth down play. Like once
Yeah,
he lost the ball, you knew the play was over, and we were getting the ball back whether Fletcher Cox recovered it or not.
sure. But, again, had he not fumbled, he looked like he had a man open and could have converted that fourth down. So, um, but yes, I get your point. Dylan checks in already. What's up, Dylan? Jalen has made me eat my offseason hate. I am still ready to see if he can handle that playoff atmosphere where teams force him to stay in the pocket and shut down their run game like they've done with the Titans and the Ravens in the past. But right now, he looks like we can go toe to toe with anybody in the league. Well said,
Yep,
Dylan. Yeah, he has certainly silenced some critics, to say the least. He is playing at a pretty high level, and he has certainly not been perfect, but he has improved on many of the things that again, we have discussed many a times in the offseason of
sure.
things we want to see, and he is doing it. Now, again, he didn't have a great game yesterday necessarily, but it's also, you're playing in the pouring rain. Um,
It was wet. It was cold.
Yeah,
Wet,
again, I don't.
cold.
Yeah, I don't hold any of that against him. I thought, given the conditions, I thought he played pretty well, and again, most importantly, he led his team to a victory.
And I hope everybody out there, if you know anybody named Ian, I hope you punch them in the face, um, because that weather was ridiculous.
Okay, Eric getting angry at hurricanes. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, uh,
But
certainly on a lighter note of
sure.
everything.
Yeah, I don't really mean it. Like I just wanted to poke some fun at it.
I know,
Like
I know. Yeah, obviously, Florida got hit pretty
sure.
bad. We're getting the effects of it, this weekend and a few days this week, for anybody in the kind of Philadelphia area here. But yes, yeah, it was not ideal conditions to say the least. I'm actually kind of glad I wasn't down there. Um, I had
Yeah. We certainly know you planned it that way. You and Ian had that all worked out.
Yeah, I again, I originally took off because I'm in a softball league, and it was our playoffs. Obviously, that got rained out, but I had already sold the tickets at the time, and yeah, so again, not the worst thing to not be down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was certainly a game that I think heading into this season, I think
Mhm.
we easily circled a W, just given the Jaguars and their history and everything that happened with them last year. But clearly, Doug, being at the helm now, has turned around that franchise enough to where they're gonna be something. They have a lot of youth on that team. They have a lot of talent. It seems like Doug is certainly turning Trevor Lawrence into a good quarterback. Obviously, given the conditions, he wasn't the best, but you can see that progression from last year in Trevor Lawrence, and that has to be attributed to Doug, as he basically broke down his mechanics and started from scratch with this young number one overall pick.
Yeah, and isn't it nice to see a former NFL quarterback taking a quarterback under his wing and really just helping it? Like, he's done for Trevor Lawrence something that, like, I don't think a lot of people thought could happen. Like, this guy was already seen as such a good talent, and Doug Pedersen's just made him even better.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that
He's
was
a real pro.
yeah, maybe that was the Urban Meyer effect
Well,
from
yeah.
last year. Dylan checks in again. Can someone smack the hell out of Sirianni and tell him to stop trying to force plays to Pascal? It's not working. Just stop. Yeah, obviously that. There were a few plays throughout this season, honestly, where I kind of hear what you're saying there, Dylan. Seems like they're trying to get him more involved early. And yeah, it kind of is one of those things like, dude, you're the fourth wide receiver. Maybe try not to force that, to get him going. It's more or less like, hey, you're just there to kind of,
You're there as an
help
outlet guy. Like if
Yeah.
if AJ Brown or Devontae Smith aren't wide open, and you happen to be wide the hell open, okay, maybe we'll throw you the ball. But otherwise, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, there are other focal points of this offense.
Well, I love that. Wide the hell open.
Yeah.
Dylan also says Doug has 100% turned that culture around in only one offseason and 4 weeks. Absolutely impressive. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the whole Urban Meyer thing was such a train wreck, and could have set that franchise.
I feel like such a breath of fresh air for all those.
Right. I mean,
once again, Doug coming in for a college coach that destroyed a culture somewhere and is immediately having a great impact. Where have we heard that before?
Where have we heard that before? I'll have to keep thinking about it. I can't figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, no, Dylan, you're absolutely right.
Later.
Yeah. It is impressive. And I think leading up to this game last week, coming into this week, I think we were all like, oh, wait a minute. Like, Jacksonville isn't Jacksonville. Like, they actually.
No, this isn't your older brother's Jaguars.
Yeah, right. So, again, it was probably the toughest test they've had so far, also given the weather conditions. And I thought that, again, they obviously started off slow. The pick six certainly was not helpful. And the offense sputtered a little bit in that first quarter, but I think the turning point was when they were up 14, they were driving. They had just missed a wide open Agnew that would have gotten them up 21-0.
Right.
And they were able to come out with a turnover and able to start getting points on the board. So that was definitely a huge turning point. And they didn't look back. They scored on what I think it was three straight drives,
right,
heading into halftime. So yeah, it was definitely a huge momentum switch at that point. And while they definitely weren't the best in the second half, they did exactly what they needed to do to pull away, get some more points on the board, and the defense was outstanding. They really held their own. They got 5 turnovers.
Right.
Bradbury has been insane, and considering all of it, they did this without Jordan Mailata, who went down early. Driscoll came in, and I thought did a very great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to him.
Yeah, and then Slay, coming out, considering they were already down Maddox, and Josiah Scott wasn't looking great.
No,
not at all. So they, again, buckled down, and they were able to, hold off a young, hungry team, and in the weather conditions with some men down. Pretty important players, I might add. And I thought, again, all of that just showed what this team's about. Just showed that, they may be down. They may not be, having the best start. But I thought doing that as a team only, bonds you. And, if anybody saw any of the locker room stuff after the game, they're all dancing, having a great time. Britton Covey was live on Instagram. They were playing Meek Mill, and they were dancing around. And again, those kind of things are great to see. Just as this team with a lot of new faces are really coming together. They're 4-0. They are the last undefeated team, which honestly, I can't remember. I can't remember last year when it was only down to one undefeated team. I swear it was not much later.
Yeah, it was not this early on in the season. And think about it, there was only one team that was 0-3 going into yesterday, and that team won.
And that team won. And there's only one
winless team,
and that's Houston, who, man,
now they're 0-3-1.
Yeah, they're trying, man. They were close. I was really rooting for them. And in saying that, partly why I was rooting for that, as Dylan says, we are literally undefeated and hold the number 3 pick in the NFL draft right now. Howie has earned unlimited rub and tugs every time I'm in Philly. Oh, okay.
Well,
we'll make sure Howie knows when you're coming to town. I'm sure he will put you on the schedule. But yeah, as Dylan had mentioned, we literally have the Saints pick, and they right now, if the season were to end, we would have the number 3 pick.
So we have the best record in football, and we also hold the number 3 overall pick, along with our own draft pick,
which would be, I guess, theoretically 32. But yes,
sure, if we were to win the Super Bowl, yeah.
Well, yes. Yes.
Is your kid dying over there?
Probably.
Oh, God, you gotta love it. Nothing could go wrong when you're live.
Never. Yeah, so obviously I was rooting for the Raiders. I was rooting for Houston. I was any team that was like 1-2, I was rooting for them hardcore.
Absolutely, yeah.
And next week, same thing. Any team that like Houston, any team that has 1 win, I am absolutely rooting for them to get that number 1 pick.
Oh yeah, because I want Will Anderson.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Yeah, he is certainly.
He's a beast.
He would be an insane addition.
Could you imagine having him and Dean on the linebacking core?
Yeah, and the fact that Dean hasn't even freaking played.
He hasn't even played yet. We don't need. Well, the thing is, it's like he can't get on the field because of how well these linebackers are playing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, TJ Edwards has certainly proven himself here, and yeah, I'm so glad that he's basically taking him out off the field, essentially. I mean, we were so excited to have Nakobe Dean, and to be honest, Nakobe Dean hasn't done anything.
Well, yeah,
he can't get on the field.
Yeah, he can't get on the field because of how well they're playing. Like it's great. It's a nice problem to have. It is a very veterans just blowing the doors off everybody.
Yeah, it is a very, very good problem to have for sure. And yeah, again, so you have the teams that are 1-3 that we're obviously kind of rooting for, and it's funny because we were along with Miami, who was just lost this past weekend, or
on Thursday, yeah.
On Thursday, thank you. They actually have the 49ers first round pick, who are 1-2 right now as they head into their Monday night matchup with the Rams. Yeah, so
go Niners. Yeah,
go Niners. Yeah, because we while theoretically, yes, that is Miami's pick. Still, anybody
can interrupt our number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, so yeah, I have seen it, but I think it's Houston and Carolina that are ahead of the Saints.
All right, so we got to have Houston and Carolina each win, and Saints just keep losing. You there?
Yeah. Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously we are now big Carolina and Houston fans. Hopefully they can win some games here.
Yeah.
Same with Vegas. Same with I was really rooting for New England to beat the Packers. They almost pulled that out.
Yeah.
That would have been something certainly nice. And what I think Pittsburgh, I think, is 1-3 now too.
Yeah. Pittsburgh won the first week and hasn't won since.
Yeah. Trying to think here. Yeah. Yeah. The Colts are 1-2-1. Raiders are 1-3. Patriots 1-3. Steelers 1-3. Texans 0-3-1, which is just awful. You obviously have the Niners, depending on what they do tonight. The Panthers 1-3, Saints 1-3, Lions 1-3, and Commanders 1-3. So again, we gotta root for all of those teams and hope that listen. A lot of people are still iffy on Hurts. I don't know how you can be. Dylan himself.
I don't get it. He's been playing at an MVP level.
Yeah, he said himself, "Hey, I'm eating my words." I was very critical, and he's stepped up in these first 4 games, and he has.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I think if this is what we can expect, well, obviously it's 17 games now, not 16, as I was going to say, through a quarter of the season, but essentially it's a quarter of the season.
Sure.
If this is what we can expect every quarter throughout this season, I'll take that, sign that up, and be good to go.
And obviously, we know, obviously, they're not going to go undefeated.
No.
The Eagles aren't going to go.
No, of course not. And anybody, again, we can all joke, 17-0, let's go, baby. But listen, they're going to lose to a team they shouldn't lose to. They still do have to play the Packers. They still have a few tough matchups. Obviously, they still got to play Dallas twice. The Giants, while they don't look great, they are still 3-1. And it's a divisional game, and those are always going to be tough. You still have the Titans, who were just last year the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. So while they're struggling so far this year, and in fact, what are they? I think they are 2-2.
Are they 2-2?
Yes, they are 2-2. Yeah, so they're obviously on our schedule. And yeah, I mean, like I said, the Packers, we do have a game against Arizona next week, to which we will be at, or at least I will be at. Can't wait for that. They're 2-2, and they don't necessarily look all that great yet.
Yeah, they don't impress me at all.
But they do have a decent team. So it's it's a week-to-week league. Obviously, I think preseason we all thought, first 4 games, Minnesota's going to be tough. Detroit's a little better than we're used to. Detroit, Jacksonville sucks. Blah blah.
Yeah.
And we should beat the Commanders. So I think when we did our game by game, I think we were both at 3-1. So we're doing better than we expected so far. So we can't beat that.
Did we both have them losing to Minnesota?
I think one of us did and one of us didn't.
Okay.
If I can remember, Darth Pooh checks in. Eagles luck gonna run out because they have terrible fans. Well, thanks.
Because that's how football works.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, if that was the case, then
we'd win every year.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So what I want to do, actually, given what we know.
Sure.
4-0. Well, I want to go over the schedule really quickly
Sure.
and see if anything changes, right?
Okay.
And see if I think we both had 11 wins, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see if we're going to be.
If we get back to 11, or is it just?
Right. Oh boy. Here we go.
Nice little play on words.
All right. Clearly an Eagles fan. He's gonna hurt all your little hearts. Darth, I'd love to hear what what team you're a fan of, so that I could properly come back at you. But while we wait for that, let's start off real quick with Cardinals. We're in Arizona. The line's already 5.5. We're in Arizona. That says
that screams blowout city.
Yes, I agree. I think it's a comfortable win. I was definitely.
Yeah, I think we had that team.
Yeah, I think I had this.
I feel like if you punch them in the mouth, they will just go away, and that's what the Eagles like to do. They like to punch teams in the mouth.
Yeah. Next up, so we both had them 5-0. Next up, we have at home on Sunday night. Cowboys come to town. This theoretically might be Dak Prescott coming back. Don't know yet. So I don't know what that does for anybody, but I truly think this is going to be another victory.
So do I.
I think the Eagles are just playing really well right now. Dallas is kind of
the Eagles are rolling, and
they're winning, but they're just squeaking by teams. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a win. I think we head into the bye 6-0, which is we had mentioned that as a possibility that if we could do that would be just
amazing.
Be amazing, considering that after. Eagles depth gonna make you cry. Okay. Well.
Okay.
So you still didn't answer my question, Darth. That's okay. Dodge that question all you can. So we come out of the bye. Night before Halloween, we had the Steelers coming to town. Steelers, listen, their defense, Micah Fitzpatrick, I got to tell you, when he was traded from Miami, man, I wanted him.
I wanted him here.
I wanted him bad. I think he is amazing. They obviously have TJ Watt, but he's a little banged up.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, this should be an easy victory because the Steelers just offensively, they just switched over to Pickett. They're still kind of figuring out what they are as an offense now that Pickett is in charge. So there's something to be worth monitoring over the next couple of weeks as they, as he finally gets, well, you would think he finally gets the start there in Pittsburgh. So,
yeah.
I
think it is an easy win. Yeah.
Yeah. No, agreed. So next up, then, is the Houston Texans at Houston. Hopefully,
a short week. Yeah,
a short week. Hopefully, they have a victory under their belt at some point. But I don't doubt that this should be an easy win.
Yeah, that puts us at 9-0.
Yeah, that's nuts to think. Not gonna lie. Part of me wants to pull it back.
Is that 8 now? I think it's 8 now, actually.
Oh, is it? Jay Hood, what's up? Love from New York. Go Birds, go Eagles. Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you checking in, man, for sure. Let me see. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so Texans would be 8-0.
8-0.
Then again, we come back home. We have the Commanders coming.
Yeah.
On a Monday night game.
And we'd have all that. We now have a long rest.
Long rest. we're back home. We got the week and a half rest. And listen, we saw what we did down in DC.
You're right.
We were there. We saw it, and it was amazing. And I do not doubt that we will continue.
I know. This is 9-0, dude.
So that's 9-0 to me.
Yeah.
So I have a bad feeling about all this.
I really do too.
This is a little too easy. Then we have the Colts in Indianapolis. So we travel out to Indianapolis. Listen, they tied the Texans.
I mean,
terrible. They got
really
out.
Right now seeing a scenario. We thought 10, 11, maybe 12 wins. We would be at 10 wins after 10 games.
I don't like this.
I don't either.
Because it's
inevitably we are going to lose one of these games.
Yes, obviously somebody's going to beat us that shouldn't necessarily beat us. But like, if you're just looking at this as like, hey, listen, what we've seen so far, we are a better team.
Based on who we are, based on who they are.
Right. Listen, I gotta say the Colts has to be a win as well.
Yeah, that's 10-0.
That's 10-0. Okay, all right. Here's where we got a Sunday night game at home against the Pack. Aaron Rodgers, who always plays us tough, I think we'll both feel just good for what we're doing right now and give them a loss.
That's a loss. 10-1.
It has to be 10-1.
Yeah.
Now I feel much better.
Yeah.
I feel much better that we finally have a loss on our schedule.
I know, because then it's like, I don't want to be in November and like late November and all of a sudden having the conversation. Oh, do you rest your starters the last couple weeks? Like, don't talk to me about that stuff, man.
Yeah. All right. So then we stay home. We got the Titans. Titans don't look that great, honestly. They really don't.
They don't. But I have a feeling by then it's got to be.
They got to figured it out. So are you saying we lose 2 in a row?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that, honestly. That again makes me feel a little bit better for what we're doing. So we'll have
some controversy. I think all of a sudden people will start to be like, "Oh, what's going on with this team?"
Well, yeah, of course.
Then people hit the panic button, but
right. Then we go play the Giants at in New York, in New Jersey, on December 11th. I think that's got to be a win. Giants don't look good. They may be 3-1, but they do not look like they should be 3-1.
And all week everyone's going to talk about the fact that Jalen Hurts has not won a game in New York yet. He's played them. He's played in New York twice and lost both times. Or no, he's only played them in New York once. Yeah. So, and it was a terrible game. Yeah, because the next week they played at the Jets and won, but it was with Gardner Minshew.
Yes. So we're back on track. We're 11-2. Then we go play the Bears, which looks so awful. I feel so bad for Fields and the fact that he literally has like one half weapon in Darnell Mooney. The team's awful. It's just so bad. They need so much help. So that should be, again, another easy win. That's 12-2. Then it's Dallas. It's Christmas Eve. It's in Dallas.
And this could be to win, this could be to wrap up the division, wrap up home field at this point, with it being 12-2.
I was gonna say, honestly, I think at this point, Dallas is definitely going to be playing for something, trying to get that wild card.
Right.
Always tough to sweep the Cowboys. I am just going to give them a loss here.
Yeah.
We do not get an early Christmas present, and I think we'll be 11-3 at this point.
It would be 11-3 or 12-3?
12-3.
Yeah,
sorry, 12-3. Yeah. Then we move over to New Year's Day. Saints at Eagles. I just have to believe for the betterment of the Eagles draft pick and the fact
we have to smoke them
garbage. That's a victory for us. And that's a 13. No,
13-3, yeah.
13-3. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then listen, Giants. We play them last game of the year at home. We really will have nothing to play for at this
In
point.
what will basically amount to a glorified 3-hour pep rally.
Yes. Watch out, folks. I plan on getting drunk that day.
Oh, I plan on getting absolutely shit-faced that day.
Agreed.
Yeah. But I might make Mike drive back home.
You should make Mike drive up.
Yeah, I should just make him drive the whole way, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh, we've got a good question here, and I do not have an update on Darius Slay.
No.
They're very quiet.
Giuliani basically said in a lump sum of like, "Hey, I know we had some injuries. All should have a good chance of playing next week." That's literally what he said.
That's good.
I haven't heard it unless there's been an official update, unless something that I missed. That is the only thing that I had heard. Listen, yeah, I think usually Monday it's usually tough to get a true update. Usually by Tuesday, you get a sense, given practicing and whatnot, and seeing if they're limited or if they're completely out. So something to monitor. Again, the best way I can say is to just continuously look at who's practicing and whatnot. So, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I think we can agree that Giant game probably is going to be a loss just, again, because we're not going to be playing for anything.
And you and I might be convinced the Eagles won as we leave, and we'll just be told no later on that,
No. Yeah. No. They did.
I feel like we should just hang out in each other's, like all of us should just go in together and just hang out around each other and just kind of like, be around, like, because there's a good chance if that game's not for anything, and it's probably gonna be pretty cold. It's gonna be January. Like, there's a good chance, man. Like, there's gonna be a lot of fans dressed up as empty seats at that game.
Yeah,
we all sit together and just.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. If it's real cold, I may be like, anybody want these seats?
I know, right? And just. Yeah, we'll come over to your place and we'll just hang out and drink and watch the game.
Absolutely. I'll crank the heat up. It'll be great.
I might have to dress in shorts or something.
Yeah, you might. Honestly, I'll have the griddle. We'll just pretend like we're out tailgating.
Yeah.
And then when we get cold, we'll just come inside.
That actually sounds fantastic because Mike and I have already talked about games that we might want to sell, and that one has been discussed. And by discussed, I mean we both said, yeah, let's try and sell that game.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially, if any of our, now granted, we both know that the scenario we've laid out has absolutely zero chance of actually happening.
Oh, 100%. Not happening, but listen.
Yeah.
I think our confidence is high.
Sure.
Of course, Jay. Go Birds, buddy. Like I said, I think just we're going to continue to monitor the practice this week for Slay, for Malata, and even Devontae, because again he went out for a tiny bit, went out for a couple of plays. I'm just more curious as to what his deal was. Obviously, Avante, want to make sure that he's good. Say Amalu.
Right.
Yeah, these are all names that I'm definitely going to be keeping track of that are practicing this week.
Yeah, we're going to want to see that all week. And, I'll be I know you probably as well get the alerts all the time, such and such practice, such left practice. Such and such went to the bathroom, had a healthy bowel movement. Congratulations. But, yeah, we'll be watching the whether or not they practice very closely this week.
Yeah.
And I'm counting on you, Ryan. You got to be loud this Sunday in Arizona.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hear me in Arizona for sure.
Without the TV on, I'll probably still hear you.
You might be. Only thing that will derail me is if I am just obliterated.
You mean like in Washington when you fell asleep in the first quarter?
I did, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, those Bloody Marys hit.
Yeah, they did.
They did, but I woke up and I was good to go for the second half. Yeah, let me tell you, I am so excited about going out to Arizona. Finn, our boy Shane, Larry, all the guys that we tailgate with. We're all heading out there.
Oh yeah, they were all talking about the itinerary for this weekend.
Yeah, we know people out there. Apparently, two of Finn's boys are going to be out there. Larry knows people out there. I don't know anybody out there, but whatever.
You will after this weekend.
And we're going out there. We're going to be at the Philly Sports Trips tailgate. I can't wait to meet up with those guys again. Honestly, it was so fun. I know when we were down in DC, we were at the tailgate. We're having fun. I know I kind of abandoned all of y'all for a little bit.
Yeah,
I was doing a little networking, but for good reasons.
I was over there with you when you were talking.
Well, yeah, you were over there with me the second time I was talking to John Kincaid. Yeah, he'll be out there the whole morning crew, in fact.
Nice.
So your boy Jamie will be out there.
Tell him I said what's up.
I will definitely be trying to embarrass the shit out of you in front of Jamie.
Nice.
Trying to get him to tell me any stories that he has of you being, an idiot.
Conversation, I don't know that he'd even know anything like that.
No? He doesn't know you as an idiot intern?
No, not really.
Well, that's disappointing.
Probably just an idiot, but
oh well, yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
So they're going to be out there. Seth Joyner, Hollis Thomas. We'll talk to him again. It's gonna be a really fun time. We're flying out early Friday. Gonna get there kind of mid-afternoon. There's a little happy hour Friday. They got a golf outing Saturday, which we're not going to be doing, but we're going to be kind of hanging out. And then obviously the tailgate
game on Sunday. Yeah,
in the morning, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. And now that it's starting to get cold out here, I'm really going to enjoy going out there.
Well, it's going to be 70s Thursday and Friday.
Well, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I will be able to enjoy a little bit of the good weather before I leave.
Yeah. And then apparently it's going to get crappy again on Saturday.
Yeah. No, but weather out there should be fantastic.
Yeah, you'll be in the 80s. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to figure out what pair of shorts I want to wear out there.
You're such a jerk. I hate you so much. I guess this is all payback for the times that I mentioned when I was living in Houston. It would be November or December, and I was just like, yeah, I was going to say, it's just too hot out. And you're like, oh, I hate you.
Yeah, it's snowing here and torrential downpouring. Yeah, no, definitely. Real quick, I definitely want to mention and welcome in everybody from the Painted Lines YouTube. Obviously, we were talking with Darth Pooh there. It was giving me a little shit about the birds, but we love that kind of stuff. We appreciate everybody from the Painted Lines YouTube and just the Painted Lines in general. They're a fantastic group of guys. So if you don't know anything about them, make sure you go follow them and subscribe to them on YouTube right after you subscribe to us, Philly Sports Alliance. They absolutely put together such great shows. They're fantastic. We partnered up with them where we're kind of posting on their YouTube. They post on our Facebook, so it's a nice little mutual thing. And then we also host a show every Tuesday, Birds of the Round Table, with some of the the PSA guys, some of the TPL guys. We all get together and talk birds. So check them out for sure. But we certainly always love talking with Paint the Lines guys. So appreciate you guys checking in as you always do. We do have a comment again from Jay. Do you think this team is ready to beat the Cowboys? Yes.
Yes.
I think we're going to beat Arizona, and then we're going to go and beat the Cowboys and go into the bye and be 6-0 and not know what to do with ourselves, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's going to be a weird feeling that whole time of the bye. I'm just going to be thinking, man, I just wish we could go out and play another game now.
Yeah, that bye week's going to suck because all we're going to be wanting to do is just get another victory.
I mean, I'll be sitting here watching the Red Zone, but
well, obviously I would be too. Yes, but still, I want an Eagles victory.
Sure.
Yes, hell yes, we're gonna beat them Cowboys.
I can't wait to whoop them Cowboys.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I kind of hope Dak is playing.
I know. I want them to be at 100%. And I want to beat the living snot out of them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And honestly, I can't wait to torch Trayvon Diggs. I'm tired of hearing that name. I
want Devontae Smith to burn him on a double move and just house call.
I want AJ Brown to catch a freaking slant
and run him over.
Run him over, exactly.
Yeah.
Just hit stick his ass to the ground. And then
I want to see if he'll actually explode on impact.
Yeah, I mean, again, I do not think he's a trash corner necessarily, but he is being so overhyped.
Yeah,
more than his abilities. Listen, you want to talk about Parsons? Great, dude's a stud.
Oh yeah, bona fide stud.
I will forever continue to say that that's the dude I wanted all along in that draft. Sure. Don't get me wrong, I do love Devontae Smith. But let's be honest. This team would look a lot different if Howie had just drafted either DK or Jefferson.
All right, yeah. If you get one of those two, and then last year's draft, you draft Parsons instead of Devontae.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get just a psycho killer out there playing linebacker.
It would look completely different, but listen, I'm not, revisionist, one for revisionist history, but listen, the dude's a stud. He, I think the LT comparisons are a little much right now. Let's pump those brakes, but dude is balling out, and you got to enjoy it. Just sucks that he's a Cowboy,
Yeah, that's the thing. If you take the jersey, you take the stupid ass star away, and just watch the guy play football, you can't help but appreciate him.
It's a stud, absolutely. We do still have draft picks, and I don't think Howie is done yet. Yeah, listen, I know this show over the years that we've done this show. I mean, and over. Mm-hmm. The many years overall and whatever name we were doing a show under over the last 13, 14 years, we have certainly given grief to the general manager and specifically to Howie. Sure. Howie has made mistakes and has certainly cost us, good draft selections. But I will say, it takes a man to admit his faults. He has that. He's done that. He basically admitted that they chose Rager and that was incorrect. He should have kept it simple and just chosen. He didn't say Jefferson, but chosen,
best on the board. Yeah,
best on the board. So again, I respect him for admitting that for sure. And listen, what he's done over the last 2 years has been nothing short of amazing, honestly. Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, listen, I don't think any one of us likes that Fletcher Cox contract, but on the other side, Fletch has kind of been playing pretty darn good so far this year, right?
Yeah.
So
ever since week one, when I guess everybody challenged him after week one, he has shown up
Yeah. So, listen, he has drafted fantastic over the last 2 years. I think he's made
Mhm.
solid moves. Obviously, the Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White
Oof.
additions this year has already proven to be amazing. The re-signing of T.J. Edwards, obviously, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they right now, as we've said earlier, they literally have a linebacking core that is so good that we can't get our supposed stud rookie onto the field.
Yeah, it's not because N'Kobe Dean's not performing in practice. It's because the other guys are just playing so out of their freaking minds right now.
Yeah. So listen, I am. That is all I've ever wanted as a fan
Yeah.
and as a fan of linebacking. So the fact that we
You
have,
got to be loving life right now.
yeah,
So,
dude,
linebacker fan.
I'm thrilled. Hassan Reddick
Mhm.
has lived up to the billing. Again, you call him a linebacker, call him an edge, you call him whatever the heck you want. Not really important, but White and Edwards themselves have been flat out amazing. So I couldn't be happier that the addition of Bradbury has been phenomenal. He has been shutting down people. And listen, he's making the right moves right now.
Yeah.
And as Jay said, yeah, I don't think he's necessarily done. No, Howie's never done. Howie's always looking for the next guy, the next trade, the next thing
Hmm.
to solidify a position. Um, Listen, yeah, we saw when our defensive backfield had an injury or two, how thin it could get.
Sure.
It's certainly a concern. But listen, look around the league. Every team has a weak point. A
Oh,
weak
sure.
has a weak part where there's not a lot of depth, and if the injuries happen, that depth's going to get exposed. And so we saw it in the defensive backfield, the kind of that exposed depth, lack
Mhm.
of. But we also saw that in the offensive line, and we saw the exposed, amazing depth that this team has on that offensive line. We literally had two starters go down, and you did not skip a beat. You literally ran the ball for 200 yards on the
Against the
Jacksonville
number
Jaguars.
one rush defense.
They were giving up 55 a game so far this year, and we ran 200 yards on them with two missing offensive linemen. Miles Sanders had the best day of his career against them because that offensive line was flat out amazing.
And Miles Sanders playing for a contract, man. Dude
Sure
wants to stay.
Sure is. Real quick, just want to mention the official sponsor of the Philly Sports Alliance is La Terrain Watches. Head on over to www.la-terrain.com. Use code PSA for site-wide discounts. Get yourself an amazing watch. Sunglasses. They got accessories. You name it. So head on over. You will absolutely get a nice watch for pennies on the dollar for what they look like and what they are. So the quality is truly amazing.
All right.
And so
Chatted your ear off by the kid.
yeah.
Gotta love it. Um, yeah, if we want to give, I guess, our score predictions for Sunday in Arizona, not just prediction of pain.
Pain. Ruin the damn towel. Real quick, Jay chimes in again. One last question. I just wanted to know how you guys are doing, and I want to know how you guys are feeling about this season and where we are going and what we can accomplish. Yeah, listen. I mean, personally, I'm
doing fantastic.
I'm all right. Could be better, but whatever. Sports wise, I'm doing great.
Yeah, right.
Philly's magic numbers down to 1. Eagles are the last undefeated team. Sixer season's about to start. Flyer season's about to start.
The Flyers are there, man. They're there.
They are still a National Hockey League team.
Yes.
They have not been relegated, so we're good with that. Listen, I feel like the Eagles do have something special. I feel like they need to come together, gel as a team. There's a lot of new pieces, and I already see that happening. They're obviously talented. They obviously are being put in very good positions to do what they need to do to get victories. We shall see as the season goes on, but right now I couldn't be happier. Is it perfect? No, it never is. It never will be. But I think for where they are right now, they're playing. You can only play against who you play. And I think who they play, they should easily be able to get to 12, 13, maybe even 14 wins this year, depending on if they need to play these games.
The last game against the Giants is a big party. We're just going to get drunk.
There you go. But also moving forward into 2023, 2024, we also have a very young core. And if Jalen Hurts is going to continue to play this way, we can use those draft picks on, some studly guys like, whatchamacallit? You mentioned
Will
him.
Anderson.
What's that?
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. That was it. I couldn't remember the last name.
Yeah.
So that's only going to continue to help with this team and the youth and just building up this roster. So you look at all the offensive weapons, and everybody's super young, and it's awesome. Dallas Goedert's the old man there at 27.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And he's starting to come into his own. So super excited about everything moving forward for this year. And honestly, I'm just enjoying the ride, which I feel like I haven't really done much lately, if you know what I mean. Like, it's always like a struggle. It's always a heart attack. It's always, But right now, I'm just enjoying these games. So, dude, Jay, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, honestly. Checking in from New York. Love the birds. Love you too, brother. Absolutely. We got to remember that all of us Eagles fans may not agree on everything all the time, but we are a family, and we have one passion, and we need to remember that. We need to remember that while we do disagree sometimes on this player, that player, whoever, but we all want the same thing in the long run. And that's another party down broad. And honestly, Jay, if you're ever coming down to a game, you let me know. We'll have a few drinks at our tailgate.
Yeah, absolutely. Always welcome.
Absolutely. So, one last thing I wanted to mention is obviously our partnership with Six Pack Coverage. They're a national media company based in Tennessee. They obviously have fantastic sports podcasts, but they also do lifestyle, travel, food, fitness, finance, some other F's out there, as I feel like I just rattled off like 5 of them. They're a fantastic company. Check them out on Instagram, Six Pack Coverage, or head on over to their website, sixpackcoverage.com. Got amazing shows, amazing articles, a really cool website. We are obviously all in the mix there, Philly Sports Alliance. So you can check us out there. Obviously, you can check us out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, anywhere where you find a podcast. We are there as well. The Twitter handle is up there at Philly Sports PSA. But certainly make sure that you like, subscribe on Facebook, put on your automatic notifications so that when we go live, you're getting all of our shows live as they come up. Not only our shows, but the TPL shows that we partnered up with as well. And then, of course, YouTube, where everything that we put out there is always available for you. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, or want to, I don't know, if you want to come on and talk birds. Always do that. So we are going to get out of here. And I will be in Arizona. So I probably, Eric.
Guess we won't have a show next week. Yeah.
Right, unless no, absolutely, brother. I don't know. Unless we can figure something out that maybe I might be stuck at an airport or something Monday evening waiting for a flight or something, or maybe we'll figure it out. But yeah, guys, I'll be in Arizona, so I'll be posting some videos from Arizona down at the tailgate, down at the party, and yeah, we'll hopefully get another victory. Yeah.
Maybe I'll post some videos from in the house as we're watching.
Yeah, I'm sure people would love to see you in the nice warm house.
Just hanging out, drinking,
just hanging out, seeing you, and yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother. I will.
My uncle, my cousin, lots of family will come over to watch the game.
I don't doubt that. So,
yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we're heading on out of here. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you follow all of our shows on the Philly Sports Alliance. Tomorrow, we got the Philly Broadcast, followed up by the Birds of the Round Table. So check those shows out. And then, of course, you have Wednesday. Wednesday is the Bald Eagle podcast, where the Bald Eagle breaks down play-by-play this past weekend's game. So if you really want to learn something, certainly make sure you check out the Bald Eagle podcast. And then we finish up the week with the TLC podcast on Thursday. Yeah. And then, of course, scattered among all of our shows are the TPL shows. So check them out. Thank you so much. We were heading out. Appreciate it, Jay. Appreciate it, Dylan. Darth Pooh, you never did answer me about what team you support. I'm sure you have said it before in many of these chats. I just cannot keep track. So that is my bad. But you're not an Eagles fan, so forget about it.
Your team's not undefeated.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, Eric, do you have anything to add before we head on out?
Nah.
All righty. So for the Football Smack Talk Show, I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric. Go Birds.
Go Birds, and on to Arizona. Here we come. Can't wait.